there. Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Stephanie and this is Life or Debt. First of all, I want to thank you all so very much for the well wishes and get better soon messages. I really appreciate it. I am on the mend. The doctor gave me all the medication, so you know, we're doing great on this fine snowy 2022 Sunday. It is January 2nd and I am getting ready to set up my 2022 life. I'm late, you know, we've already started. I've one day down, but I'm good to go. I'm good to go. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to go over my debt story, spill the tea on me, and then I'm going to go over my debt breakdown from where I was at the beginning of 2021 to where I am today and kind of the goals that I have set up for 2022. So I guess we could start with when I found the Budget Mom, I was $55,000 in debt. And that was my third time being in debt. I had since 2 times previous found myself in a debt situation, whether it be credit card debt or car loan debt or still student loan debt. But I'd never actually been like debt free because ever since I left college, I always had student loan debt. And I was brought up in the mind frame of everybody has debt. It is what it is. My family, I don't want to say my parents because, you know, I'm not pinning it on one obstacle, but like my relatives and all of that, they just always had debt. I remember growing up and just watching my mom cry about paying bills, and it just was kind of like the way of life. And it wasn't until I found Dave Ramsey and I was like, oh, it doesn't have to be like this. I can be different. And I tried it. I read his books and I was all on board, but I am not there's 2 mentalities for me. And again, these are some serious mental issues. So I either my coping mechanisms are to eat or to shop. So if I was trying to lose weight, I would shop more. If I was trying to stop shopping, I would eat more. So clearly I'm working through that, and money and food are both very emotionally tied for me. So I am obviously going about the biz, and working through those emotions. So I'm no longer eating for comfort or shopping for comfort. I obviously still shop because I like to buy things, but when I started Dave Ramsey, I wasn't ready to acknowledge those feelings, and I quickly burned out, which I think that the all or nothing approach is for a very regimented personality, and I don't have that. It works for some people, and I have friends who have it worked for, and they are blessed, and I am so happy for them, but I'm not that person. So I was on to other things, and I had found the Budget Mom via Pinterest, but in my mind I was I'm not going to spend $50 when I don't have an extra $50 to buy a notebook, essentially. And I guess I wasn't smart enough to search YouTube to see how the method really works, so I could do it by myself. That's gonna happen a lot because I'm still sick. So I was just kind of I'm doomed. So then I did a debt reconsolidation plan when I had just first found it, and that, it was awful because it took 5 years to pay off, and it was $250 a month that I really didn't have. And anyway, paid it off. It was great. Paid off my first car. That was great. And then I had a baby, and then I got more credit card debt. And I got a personal loan through Lending Tree or Lending Club. I can never remember the name. And that was fine. I paid it off within the 3 to 5 years, and it was great. But in the process of paying it off, I was still using my credit cards. So I didn't, I stopped using them for a really long bit, and then I just picked them up again. And I attribute like all of these things to not really knowing what my why was. And I know in this community we talk a lot about our whys and like what's our driving force. And like, yes, I had a daughter and I wanted the best for her, and I didn't want to be like, I wanted to create this whole new like family line for us, right? Like I didn't want her to grow up and think that that was okay and all of that stuff. So I had that why. But it wasn't until I found Kyle and like we started getting serious in our relationship and I saw how different finances were in other families, that I was like drawn, and I found a new why. And like being in a relationship with Kyle and like wanting us to get married and do all of the things and like have memories with the kids and be able to go places and see things, that rejuvenated my why, I think. And I think that's why the budget mom method has helped me, like, because when I like found my why and I was like, no, this is what I want to do, I was able to justify putting the $50 down to invest in me, to invest in us. And that's what I did. And here I am today. I mean, obviously, like, YouTube aside, that was a whole different adventure for me. But I think that, you know, it was great. Like, I love what I do here, and I love the community that I found. And on top of like having my why defined, I guess it's not really defined, because I can't sit down and be like, my why is because I want to do XYZ by this time. And it's just like, my why is my family. My why is my 2 girls and Kyle and my mom, and making sure that everybody is like comfortable and set up. And my why is being able to take summers off with Kyle because he's a professor, and like retire early so if he still wants to work, he can work, and then I'll have the time off that he has off, so we don't have to worry about like me taking additional time off. For anybody that I work with who's watching this, I'm not quitting, don't worry. But you know, it's just like things that I like see myself push through. So I've been through this journey before, and I think I took the cheating way out, because by getting one large lump sum that I had to pay back, it was just like, all right, I'll pay this one monthly payment and every year, and it's not going to, it just is what it is. It'll be paid off in X amount of days or X amount of months or X amount of years, and that's it. Having to do the math myself and having to look at it every month and having to set myself up with a budget and having to check in with that budget, even though we all know, like, let's be honest, I'm not perfect. It is helped so much with the mentality of spending money, because it's different when you pay, like, you consolidate everything into one bill, and then you pay that one bill. It just turns into another bill. And then if you have an extra $50, you're like, I have an extra $50. Let's go shopping. Let's go to Hobby Lobby. Let's pick up a new craft. Now I have an extra $50, and I'm like, I should put that somewhere else. I should make that money have a better job than just be in my pocket. So that's where I am today. That's my tea. I'm sorry it's not juicy, but I guess it's like being in college, getting your first credit card, getting your first car. Like, I was very blessed in having cars that I was able to pay outright, because I had family pass away and they like left me money, and I have an aunt in a dealership program, so like I was able to utilize those things. But in the long run, it didn't really help me, because it just is, it was just creating a cycle. So finding the budget mom and finding primarily the budget by paycheck workbook, or the budget by paycheck method, like, when I say life-changing, life-changing. So let's talk about my budget breakdown. Okay, so here is the breakdown for my bills as of January 1st, 2021. So this is what I was looking at when I was really like starting to go forward with the Budget Mom Budget by Paycheck workbook. So I did have my Disney Visa, which was just under a little over $4,000. And then my Southwest Visa, which was $10,411. My Discover, which was $17,462. My VSAC, which is student loans, was $13,712. And my car payment was $12,375. Now, I was really focused for this with the avalanche method. Primarily what I did was I was like, okay, well, this one is the lowest one that I have. I can pay off my Disney Visa, and then I can like work on my Discover because it did have the next highest interest rate. So that being said was kind of my focus for 2021. It was really like the first half of the year, I did a great job. I was really excited for being able to get things going and get things paid down, but I kind of felt a burnout towards the end of the year. I just didn't feel like things were moving in the needle enough for me. So for this year, things are going to look a little different. So I have my Disney Visa is still paid off. So we're just going to put PO for paid off. The Southwest Visa has $10,453 on it. The Discover has $13,100 on it. VSAC has $12,022 on it. And my car loan has $7,773 on it. So you can see kind of the difference here, and all of the interest rates stayed the same. So we're just gonna forget those. So the Disney Visa got paid off. That's great. The Southwest Visa has a little bit more because I was stupid and I used it, and it is what it is, but fine. The Discover, I did take a huge chunk out of that, so that was impressive. And then the student loans came down and the car payment came down. Now the car payment came down so much because I was gifted some money towards the end of the year, and that's really when I decided to move forward with dropping my car loan. So that was that. So at the beginning of last year, I had $58,307 in debt. At the beginning of 2022, I have 10 plus 1,300. Nope. So I have a total of $43,348. That means I've paid off $14,959 in the last year. So that I'm like $50 away from $15,000. So while I wish I had known this number sooner, so I could have made it $15,000, that's pretty awesome. So now what I'm going to do is my goal for this year is to pay this off. But since I'm talking about goals, let's kind of go into that a little bit more. Let's talk about goals, because goals are important. I suck at goals. I got the power sheets for goal setting, and I really have to sit down and focus on them because I am just goals are not my jam, you guys. Goals are not my jam. So anyway, for the goals of 2022, I want to pay off my car. That is, to knock out that debt this year would be phenomenal for me. Phenomenal. So that's kind of what I'm working on. That's what I'm going to put my gazelle focus towards. I'm going to work on some savings challenges. Now, I'm of the mentality of I have a lot of debt. I don't know if savings challenges are right for me. So I'm obviously not going to do the $10,000 savings challenge, but I am going to do some smaller savings challenges. And what I'm probably going to do is put that lump sum of money either towards sinking funds that I need to bump up, or I'm going to put it towards my debt to pay off the car sooner. And then I'm going to improve my side hustle game. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but obviously for those who know, I have an Etsy shop. That Etsy shop currently only has 2 PDFs in it. I am in a position where I can really focus on that and make it better. So I think that that's one thing that I'm going to do. I might make myself accountable to have one new PDF every month to see, you know, what happens. So that's kind of where my mentality is. So what is this rambly video said? Really, we're just getting ready to focus on 2022. I kind of wanted you guys to know where I was coming from. I don't really do a lot of debt check-in. People who watch my channel on the regular, they know I have debt. You've seen the calendars, you've seen the payments go out. But the story for me is kind of really hard because it makes me realize that debt for me is more than just a spending problem. So I tend to not talk about it. So one of my personal goals for 2022 is to do a monthly debt check-in or a quarterly debt check-in. I'm going to do it on the quarterly because I don't want to overwhelm myself. I want to see progress, and I think that if I put it on the quarterly, I'll see progress. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to put out a video later this week about like my savings challenge plan and things of that nature. So I guess that's it. That's how we're starting off 2022 on Life or Debt. And if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions, please do leave them in the comments below, because I really I'm jazzed to move forward with this year, and I'm jazzed to have you guys along. So until next time, guys, I guess I'll see you real soon.